Greetings, YouTube. This is another episode of TEW 2016 WWE Red vs. Blue, episode 11 for Smackdown Live. We are live in front of 8,468 people at the Coliseo Manuel Iguina Coliseum in Puerto Rico. And yes, I accidentally forgot to set the arena, so it set automatically to Puerto Rico, so I guess it is what it is, and we just have to make the best of it. So SmackDown opens up with Miz TV with his special guest, AJ Styles, and Miz basically grills AJ about losing to him last week and his issues with the club, and this brings out the club, and they start mocking AJ, calling him a nerd, calling him pathetic, and how he's changed, and so forth. Also in Miz TV, Miz announces that next week Dolph Ziggler will be returning to in-ring competition, and he will be facing The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship. So Miz hypes up that match for next week. But tonight, it seems to be a little issue going on with the club and The Miz, as they're basically 3-on-1, basically talking trash to AJ, and them saying, AJ, you don't have a friend, you don't have anyone that will come out to help you. The club were the only friends you had, and you thought you were better than them. And then this brings out Big E and Xavier Woods without Kofi Kingston, and they said, it seems to us that AJ needs a couple people to help even up the odds, and who could be the two people that comes out and helps AJ? Who? The New Day. And if you want to settle things, if you want AJ in the ring, how about the three of you take on the three of us? And they agree to that. And we get set for the first match, but Miz TV got a 64C rating, no worker improvements. So the first match, in a decent match, The Miz and the Club defeated AJ Styles and the New Day in 1952, when The Miz defeated Xavier Woods by pinfall with a skull-crushing finale. Miz had an in-ring performance of 62, Carl Anderson 51, Luke Gallows 46, Big E 66, Xavier Woods 61, and AJ Styles 74. The match got a 69C plus rating, and Xavier Woods is improving in Rumble skills. Next segment, Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose is backstage discussing, the beatdown that they received at the end of SmackDown Live last week from the Forgotten Stable. And they're talking about the retribution that they have planned. And then Edge comes into their locker room and he's like, sorry to barge in like this, but this letter actually arrived to the arena for you guys. It's addressed to both of you, and you might as well take this and see what it is. And both of them look at each other, look at Edge, and they're like, thanks. So they take the certified mail and they open it up, and Roman's reading it, and then he has a confused look on his face, and he's like, what's going on? He's like, check this out. And Ambrose looks at it, he kind of laughs, he's like, okay, who did this? Who's doing this? Is this some kind of joke? And Roman's like, well, whoever this person is that sent this letter, they want us to meet them, at some, location here within the next hour and a half. And Ambrose was like, do you think we should, trust this? Because after all, it could be a trap. Could be setting us up for another 5-on-2 beatdown. Hey, it could be like a 10-on-2 beatdown. And Roman's like, either way, man, we're not safe from this group of misfits. So, should we do it? And Amber's like, well, we don't have anything else to lose, so, let's see what this is all about, but we better come prepared. So let's grab something to protect ourselves in case this is another 5-on-2 assault. So that way we can kind of even up the odds. So yeah, they're going to leave the arena and meet up with whoever the person is that sent them that certified letter by the end of the program. Who could that be? Or who, is it one person? Is it two? Is it 5? Who knows? Segment got a 70 C+ rating, no worker improvements. Next segment is a backstage interview with Renee Young and the Embassy, consisting of Prince Nana, Cassius Ohno, and Sawyer Fulton. And Prince Nana, basically applauds himself for the plan that he set into motion last week. He introduces the 2 newest members of the Embassy, Cassius Ohno and Sawyer Fulton. And he saw them in NXT and he knew that they would be perfect for his Embassy. Now, as for Kofi Kingston, his generous offer is still on the table, and he understands that Kofi needs a little time to think about it because he knows it's a life-changing offer. Now, for the other 2, Big E and Xavier Woods, they do have unfinished business with them, and Prince Nana is already thinking big, and he wants the WWE Tag Team Championship. And coming up, Cassius Ohno and Sawyer Fulton will make their in-ring debut in tag team action. No worker improvements. The segment got a 56 C- rating. In an abysmal match, Cassius Ohno and Sawyer Fulton defeated Angelo Dawkins and Tucker Knight in 7:49 when Cassius Ohno defeated Angelo Dawkins by pinfall with a Heroes Welcome Championship edition. So yeah, pretty awful match, which is to be expected because, Cassius Ohno and Sawyer Fulton haven't really been on the main roster, so their, pop is low. Likewise with Angel Dawkins and Tucker Knight. I just needed a couple of bodies from NXT to put over Ohno and Fulton. Ohno and Nana have pretty good chemistry. Sawyer Fulton is getting better as gimmick. Ohno and Fulton had great chemistry when teaming together. Fulton had an in-ring performance of 23, Ohno 55, Knight 16, and Dawkins 22. Ohno is improving in performance skills. The match got a 16 F+ rating. Ouch. Next segment, and a decent match. Sami Zayn defeated Mark Henry in 12:23 by pinfall with a haluva kick. Mark Henry and Sami Zayn have pretty good chemistry and it lifted the match. Henry had an in-ring performance of 52, Zayn 68. No worker improvements. Match got a 60 C rating. So basically, the storyline of the match. This match was basically to help prepare Sami Zayn for Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. Mark Henry, world's strongest man, former world heavyweight champion, former ECW champion. He's the world's strongest man. So it's a perfect, opponent for Sami Zayn to kind of get himself ready for Brock Lesnar. And he managed to beat Henry clean with the haluva kick. Moving right along, and about that subpar wrestling and little heat, Sasha Banks and Naomi defeated Alicia Fox and Paige in 8:07 when Naomi defeated Alicia Fox by pinfall with a split-leg moonsault. Paige had an in-ring performance of 54, Alicia Fox 40, Naomi 37, and Sasha Banks 60. No worker improvements. The match got a 56 C- rating. So basically, yeah, as of right now, these are the only 4 women on SmackDown Live. So I'm looking to bring up a couple more women from NXT. I'm just not sure as of yet who it will be. I did sign quite a bit, a bunch of women to deals, and they're currently in NXT. I'm just not sure out of everyone, all the women in NXT, who do I want to bring up to SmackDown Live? Because I'm not the one. I don't want to bring someone up whose stats still need improving, like greatly. And from what I've seen, quite a bit of women down there still have a lot of work to do. So, but at the same time, I do see the need for more women on SmackDown Live, because you can't just have matches between Alicia Fox, Paige, Sasha Banks, and Naomi every week. So, yeah, be on the lookout for women debuting on SmackDown Live in the future. Next segment is a backstage interview. Renee Young's with Kofi Kingston, and Renee talks about the last few weeks with Kofi Kingston, and him being offered a spot in the embassy as Prince Nana's crown jewel, and Kofi being conflicted on whether to accept the offer or, stay with his New Day friends. And Kofi's like, just saying, yeah, it's been a real stressful last couple weeks. It's hard where you got, a chance to, improve your standing in the company, kind of, improve your career, but at the same time, Big E and Xavier Woods, they built something great with the New Day. He loves having fun. He loves, entertaining everyone. But at the same time, he still wants to be WWE champion one day. And he knows that the window is closing soon because, he is a veteran in the locker room. And so many guys are coming in and, and they want the WWE championship too. So, he doesn't know how many more opportunities to be WWE champion that he can have in his career. So yeah, he's still very conflicted. That's why he wasn't with New Day earlier in the evening, because he's just kind of taking a step back. No worker improvements. The interview got a 67 C+ rating. And the next segment, in a decent match, Kofi Kingston defeated Alberto Del Rio in 2013 by pinfall with a Trouble in Paradise following interference from Cassius Ohno. Kingston had an in-ring performance of 67, Del Rio 72. The match got a 75 B- rating. No worker improvement. So yeah, so basically the storyline is, Kofi Kingston's obviously working as a babyface. Del Rio was the heel. However, near the end of the match, Cassius Ohno came in and gave Del Rio the roaring elbow, the KO elbow, and knocked out Del Rio, which Kofi didn't see because he was, being distracted. He was tied up with the ref, but you didn't see Ohno. But the commentary table, they're hyping up whether or not Kofi knew about Ohno coming in and getting involved with the match, or was he, not aware, and Ohno was doing it on his own, on the beck and call of Prince Nana. Is this something that, Prince Nana set up to show Kofi, hey, you got to win, and we helped you get a win. Just imagine what you can do. Imagine if it was the WWE Championship match. you would be WWE champion right now. You know, just something that, you know, kind of plays into the fact, well, is Kofi going, really with the embassy, or is he unaware of what's going on? And the main event, at a decent match, Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho defeated Big Cass and Enzo Amore in 1451 when Kevin Owens defeated Enzo Amore by pinfall with a 6-star frog splash. And in terms of in-ring work, Chris Jericho was head and shoulders above everyone else. Jericho had an in-ring performance of 80, Kevin Owens 69, Enzo 50, and Cass 47. Kevin Owens is improving in technical skills. The match got a 72 B- rating. So yeah, it's just a match to get them on the show. They did have a little issue with Jericho and Enzo and Cass at Battleground, because Jericho did the highlight reel, if you remember, and Enzo and Big Cass came out and kind of ragged on Jericho. So this is kind of an extension of that little mini feud. Moving on to the final segment, we see Roman Reigns, a car pull up to a dark area out somewhere in Puerto Rico. Some kind of dark alley or, parking lot or something like that. And Dean and Roman come out and they get into the trunk and they grab a couple of steel chairs. So they're like basically ready for anything. And then Seth Rollins comes out, appears, and both Dean and Roman are like, whoa, what the heck are you doing here? Why are you here? And Seth's like, whoa, guys, this is the only way I can get, I can get your attention, that I can talk to you guys. And then all of a sudden, they, some more shadows appear, and Roman and Dean, kind of look over and kind of, like, oh crap, what just happened? And the camera pans over to see Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, Ryback, Damian Sandow, and Bad News Barrett. And then Cody is like, hey, Seth, thanks for the tip. Kind of stirring the pot, thinking that Seth, set up Roman and Dean, and Roman and Dean, get, pissed off. They think Seth did, tip them off that, they were going to be there alone, and this was just one big elaborate setup. And then Seth's like, kind of like, what, he's acting like he's not sure either about how they're there. But then all of a sudden, they jump Roman and Dean, and then Seth. They didn't go after Seth, basically, because they want Roman and Dean to think that Seth is still, the same Seth Rollins that stabbed them in the back. So, they're all like ganging up on Dean and Roman, and Seth is kind of like standing back, like confused and wondering, what just happened. And he sees them, pouncing on Dean and Roman, and he kind of like looks around, and then he jumps into the fray and starts, attacking, one of the forgotten guys, probably Cody Rhodes in this case. But at the end, the numbers game was still too much for Seth, and he too, gets beaten down. And Smackdown Live ends with the 5 of them standing over the Shield. And then they do like the Shield fist bump over their bodies, just like what happened at the end of Battleground. And then they walk off and they leave Ambrose, Rollins, and Reigns laying basically on the ground in the middle of nowhere in Puerto Rico, laid out. So that segment got a 70 C+ rating. No worker improvements. And in a post-show match, Kane, Apollo Crews, and Titus O'Neil and lost to Baron Corbin, Bray Wyatt, and Luke Harper. And 13-16, when Bray Wyatt defeated Titus O'Neil by pinfall with a Sister Abigail. And Corbin is improving in performance skills. The segment got a 48D+ rating. And we end the show with a 69 C+ rating, which pretty bad. But once again, it is what it is. I guess we used Luke Gallows too much for whatever reason. But yeah, so that's the end of SmackDown Live. If you liked the episode, give a thumbs up, leave a comment. So until next time, take care. Peace.